Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1, a battering at the Emirates Stadium. A controversial red card to talk about with you all today as well. But Arsenal remain top of that Premier League table once again. They are the real deal this season. We're going to speak Granit Xhaka. We're going to speak Gabriel Jesus. We're going to speak about Mikel Arteta. I'm also going to reflect on Tottenham today as well. But this is the fan channel reaction show, the Premier channel reaction show, to hear from the best fans in the world. Not us, you guys at the Football Terrace. Make sure you're smashing the like buttons. We want to hear your fan highlights and reactions to this game. But it's Arsenal 3. It's Tottenham 1. Let's go.
Absolutely magnificent.
I said it a few weeks ago. I stand by it now. Be scared of Arsenal this season. They are the real deal. They are legitimately the real deal. When are you going to start realizing? I'm sorry to start with a rant. I have no agenda. I am not capping. I'm not saying it for social media attention. Ooh, as I told you weeks ago, Arsenal are real. They turned up today. They were the best team from the opening whistle. They were well in control. Partey scores. The only reason Spurs got back in the game was because of a bozo moment. A bozo moment from Gabriel at the back with the penalty. Spurs got back in the game. They had a good little spell towards the end of the first half. And then the second half, it was Arsenal, 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 every single step of the way. No doubt about it. And when it went 3-1, when it went to 3-1, Arsenal took their foot off the gas. It could have been 4. It could have been 5. It could have been 6 today. The superior team won the game. They absolutely did. I want your thoughts and your feelings, though. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. I'm in a good mood today. If we hit 1,000 likes while we're live, I'm going to give away 100. That's 10, but put a 0 on the end. 100 free memberships. I am joined, of course, as you can see, by Jessica Black today. Of course, an Arsenal fan. How you doing? How you doing?
Outside, Tottenham fans. Egal called it. I called it yesterday. I knew we were going to win this game. We beat Spurs at the Emirates. Like, that's just what it is. And they're riding this high with Conte, and Patrick was talking all big yesterday. But the reality is that North London is red. Yeah. And it's going to remain that. So, yeah, I'm happy. We thoroughly deserve that win. There's no way that you can manipulate it in any way. We completely outplayed them, and Conte ball was exposed today.
It was exposed today, and I tweeted, and I got Spurs fans DMing me saying, "Oh, we're going to stop watching. We're going to stop listening to the Football Terrace. You're too biased." I'm not biased. I just have an opinion. And football fans have got to realize that when it comes to the Terrace, I don't do agendas. I just give people my opinions. And I saw today come in, and yes, Spurs fans will say, "Oh, it's only because we got a red card." Well, you got the red card because Emerson was frustrated with Martinelli ripping him apart. And in fact, you'd already conceded 15 shots on goal before the red card. You were already being battered. You were already the second best team on the field. The red card made it slightly easier for Arsenal, but it's all Arsenal deserved. It's all Arsenal deserved today. And I think Spurs fans, look, they're a good team. They're going to make top 4 this year. But all this talk of them being title contenders, it's always been a load of old tosh for me. Always been a load of old tosh.
Yeah, the thing about Spurs is and I always give them respect when they deserve it. And I do think, again, they have very good players at the top end. Their forwards are amazing. But they've been conceding shots like nobody's business. If you watch them from Chelsea to Leicester, and you think about the differences in those teams, they were thoroughly outplayed by those teams. It was just they couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. I backed us to do that at our place. We hadn't really lost a game there, I think, in six home matches. We usually beat them there. And so I don't know why Spurs fans, like, there's some of them were acting like they were going to come and it was going to be different, but it was never going to be different. And there's a big difference between pragmatism and getting away with it. And I think we've been hearing that this is pragmatic football from Conte. It's, playing to their strengths, but it's borderline Unai Emery football, where you're just kind of playing on the counter, doing your thing, but you're getting battered on the other side. That's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. And in terms of title challenging, being anywhere near City, being better than Arsenal this season, and I've said it so many times, and I said it in the build-up, and all I get done is shot down as, oh, you've got an agenda, and there's no agenda. They've been conceding on average 15 opportunities per game. They've been conceding around 3.5 to 4 big chances per game every game this season. We have seen Leicester, they battled on the scoreline, but Leicester were well in that game until Son came on the pitch. Sporting Lisbon annihilated them. They won 2-0, but they could have conceded 3, 4, 5 goals in that game. This has been coming for such a long time. And the only thing I'm slightly disappointed about, and I know why Arsenal did it, they're reserving themselves because there's 9 games to play this month. But they took their foot off the gas. Once they got that third goal, there was, 20 minutes left against 10 men. They could have absolutely destroyed, ripped apart, annihilated, shredded, baptized Tottenham. And they just decided not to. And look, I'm not against Spurs. I think they've got a world-class manager. I think they've got brilliant players. But I said it at the beginning of the season. I said it in my preview. And I stand by it again now. Arsenal are clear. They're clear. The only team Arsenal are not clear of so far this season is Man City. Points-wise, listen, if Man United do you a favor tomorrow, if Man United go out tomorrow and beat Man City, Arsenal are 5 points clear at the top of the league? They are working towards the title race contention. There's no shadow of a doubt. And I just think, right, and I said it in my preview, rival fans are going to slowly but surely start to change soon. They're slowly but surely going to turn into, actually, maybe I underestimated Arsenal. Maybe I wasn't respectful enough to Arsenal. But it's coming. It's coming very, very soon.
Well, I'm just going to say this. If you weren't there with us shooting in the gym, you can't be with us now, okay? Like, we have been building this for a couple of years. And of course, there's some setbacks, there are some mistakes. But to me, this is a culmination. Like, this season has kind of been a culmination of what we all expected this to become after all the investment and what Arteta has done with the team. And we've had even players turn around. I think that's the biggest thing when a manager comes in, players that were done and dusted, players that people considered to be liabilities, deadwood, turning their game around. And we didn't have a lot of those, but one of the biggest ones was Granit Xhaka. And he's just different this season, I think. I mean, he's in a new position. It really suits him. But he's just a different animal. And I think that that's the mark of a really good manager, is somebody who can. Xhaka was enemy number one in terms of the Arsenal fan base. Xhaka was, you must get rid of him for us to progress. You cannot do anything with him. And he was the favorites of rival fans. Yeah. Now he's somebody that's scoring goals, getting assists, leading the team. I mean, that's a good sign for Arsenal moving forward. I thought Granit Xhaka earned that man of the match, and there were several players that could have gotten it.
He absolutely did. You're absolutely spot on with that. And I think that he's playing more further forward. He looks like the Granit Xhaka that Arsenal signed those 5-6 years ago, however long it is that he's been at Arsenal now. He looks like that player. He looks like that individual. He is performing in a way that warrants the amount of game time every manager has given him. And there must have always been a player in there that we didn't see as fans, all fans, Arsenal fans, rivals, because Wenger played him, Emery played him, Arteta played him. Whether those teams were in good or bad form, that man played almost week in, week out when fit. And there was a player in there, and it's now coming to fruition. It really, really is. And I'm kind of on a personal level, after what he went through, you've got to remember, it's not a dig, but it's a fact. There were Arsenal fans wishing cancer on his wife. And for me, if you're one of those gooners that was doing that, or you're one of those gooners that went on fan cams, fan channels, and was digging into him all those years ago, I think you should be coming out with an apology. Do you know what? It's a disgrace that any of that ever happened. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I'm glad you did, because him along with Jesus and a few others, they are putting you into title race contention. You are in title race contention at them. I'm not saying in a title race, contention to be in it as it stands. I can't remember the last time a top 6 team started a season this well, 21 points out of a possible 24, and didn't go on to challenge for a title. I don't remember the last time it happened. I don't know if it ever has happened. So they have to be looked at in that light. We're going to go to your super chats, people. I want to first of all say that the TFT clothing range is now available on the Give Me Sports shop. This QR code you can see just down there on the screen. I'm trying to point properly. Just down there on the screen. Scan that or click on the link in the description below. You can QR. We've got lots available over there, as you can see. There's the Gabriel Jesus shirts that are now out and just being released. There's a full TFT range along with hats coming out very, very soon indeed. So if you fancy getting yourself some brand new clobber, go and get it done. Some hoodies, some t-shirts, jumpers. We've got snapbacks coming very, very soon as well. But this top's going to sell like hotcakes. I think the Gabriel Jesus one, as you can see there, modeled by Jessica Black. We're going to go to some comments, some calls soon. Egal's backstage, Colleen's backstage, Gunnar Souls is there. But I want to go to the super chats first. I'm going to try not to miss any, but I have no one controlling it for me today. Jerome here says, screw the red card. You tell me 20 minutes to go, you bring your whole defense. This is embarrassing how Conte decided to give up.
That was my favorite part of the game. Like when he decided this is not worth it. I mean, Spurs have Champions League, so you have to think about that. You weren't coming back.
Yep.
But it was just, I mean, the levels, like you rarely see that. You rarely see that.
No, he gave up. He just went 3-1's enough. I'm happy to take a 3-1 beat in and come back again another day. Partey is world class. Come outside, Tottenham fans. Come on, you Gooners.
Come outside.
I will say, I mean, you got ridiculed this morning for saying Partey gets into the team. If you actually go back and look at the clip, Egal was being laughed at by everyone for saying be scared of Partey. I didn't laugh. I laughed at something Dap said that was funny, but I didn't laugh at that because for me, that's the type of thing you laugh at and then it comes back to bite you in the backside. And both Egal and Jess, of course, royalty of the football terrace, deserve a lot of props because they predicted that happening and nobody thought it would. Partey was great. Arsenal beat small teams, they say.
Yeah, we really haven't played any big teams yet. We haven't beaten any big teams yet. Let's see what happens.
It's very true. Larice over Ramsdale, not scared of Partey. All Spurs mid over Arsenal. All the Spurs fans that come for Egal come outside is what Chris Walker has got to say. So far, by the way, the Spurs fans all have the link. Nobody has yet arrived. Nobody's yet arrived. We are going to share the link for you guys in the comments very, very soon as well. Let's go Spurs in the mud. We've got Conte, You called it Big Terry. Listen, I keep saying this. People think I've got an agenda. I don't. I just know football. Actually, I'm being flippant when I say I just know ball. It's just my personal opinion. And so far, everything I've said about, in fairness, what I've predicted so far about Arsenal, I've not actually been right. They've been better than I thought they were going to be. They've been even better than I expected them to be this year. And anyone who's sitting there going, they're not slightly worried about them is a liar. If you're sitting there if you're a woman and you're looking at your boyfriend and you're saying, you worried about Arsenal? And he says, no, dump him. He's a liar. If you're looking at your girlfriend and you say, you worried about Arsenal? And she says, no, I'm not worried about them at all. Dump her. She's a liar. If your best friend says he's not worried about Arsenal, don't hang around with people that lie to you. Anyone not afraid of this Arsenal team right now and their progression from a footballing context is nothing other than a Spurs fan or a liar. Either way, you should probably get rid of them. Sorry, Dad. Red card or not, we had a Stonewall penalty denied. Come on, you Gooners, is what Will's got to say. Arsenal still haven't beaten a big team. Is another dig coming out there. And Arsenal are brilliant and Spurs have been exposed. Tottenham remind me of Chelsea in 2021 before Lamps was sacked, winning when they shouldn't. However, Arsenal will be hurt by injuries. October will be hell. I think a lot of teams can be hurt by do you not feel like a lot of teams can be hurt by injuries though?
Well, I think that's the thing is everybody has injuries and it goes both ways. You know, when you're talking about, you know, maybe not winning the games that you should, most teams have those same situation when it comes to injuries. So I think, everybody's going to be hurt by injuries. It's just a matter of how well you recruited, how you backstocked your team. And I think we were talking about this off air. Arsenal need one more player probably to survive this season. We're not, you know, destitute or anything like that, but we definitely are a little thin in some areas. So, but you know, you're in a good place when your rivals are hoping that you're getting injuries. They're like, come on, you're going to get hurt by injuries.
I think that's it. I mean, again, outside of City, I think most teams are in your position though, 1 or 2 injuries and areas on the pitch are sparse. And I think that's why singling Arsenal out as not being able to make the top four because of the size of their squad, I think, again, I'm a Man United fan. I shouldn't be the one saying this, but I think it's just boring, weak, pony analysis, in my opinion. But that's just my take. We are going to share the link in the live comment section now for you, our brilliant audience. I pressed the wrong button, actually. Let me look at the laptop in front of me rather than the big screen ahead of me.
Get Alan on.
Alan is backstage. Call in now. We're going to take your calls. We want to get your thoughts. We want to get your feelings. We're going to share that in the live comment section. We do want to hear from you. We've got some more super chats coming through before we get onto some of the. We want to talk about one of the juicy points before we go to our first call as well. But let's go to some of these more of these super chats here. Jerome says, a Spurs fan or a liar? Terry, we have to talk. What has Spurs or Spurs fans done to you? You keep throwing jabs. Listen, what I mean is, a Spurs fan isn't going to say they're scared of Arsenal. I get it, and I respect that. Chelsea and Man United fans saying they're not worried about this Arsenal team are liars. That's my point, my friend. Spurs are meant to reject them. That's kind of par for the course. 1 million to improve his footballing ability. Someone get Emerson Royale a refund. QT Romero and Hennessy Hugo Howler was unreal. Yeah, it was an absolute abysmal mistake from the two of them. Martin here says Arsenal are the 2022-23 Premier League champions. Champions, he's saying.
Too early for this.
Too early, he's saying.
Too early for this.
Jess, predict the Manchester Derby scoreline.
Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1.
You predicting us to win? Oh, I like that. I hope it's true, because then I have a very good weekend. And we will see. In fairness, I did feel like an Arsenal fan in the build up to today's game, because I've been so not brash, but because I've sort of said so much positives about Arsenal, I kind of needed them to win. Otherwise, people were coming for me in a very, very, very big way. Andrew, already done Andrew's here. We're going to come back to some more of your super chats. Don't think we've missed them. We are going to come back to them. Nearly 5,000 people watching, which is amazing. But please all hit the like button for the terrace right about now. And I hope you're liking the new layout for the match reactions. Depression, it is. There goes my weekend. Not a red. But that was going to be my next point. I mean, a lot of people are saying not a red. I know a lot of Spurs fans online said not a red. What's your take on this? Does he deserve to be sent off, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think initially when I saw it, it didn't look like a red. But then when you looked at it again, it did look more like he was just frustrated and kicked out at Martinelli. And it was high and unnecessary. And so, yeah, he could have really hurt Martinelli. And I just think any Spurs fan, be effing for real. He deserved to get the red card. And, come on. This is shocking. He's a shocking player. But any Spurs fan that doesn't think that that's a red card, you're just being biased. It just is, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm going to be honest. In real time, and even the first replay, I didn't think it was a red. I thought back to Van Dijk's tackle in the Merseyside derby and thought, well, if that isn't, and that was middle of the shin,
yeah,
that can't be. But then you watch it back, and someone tweeted something, and they'll rewatched it, and it changed my mind. I can't have my mind change, people. They said, if you look, Royale wasn't trying to win the ball. And if you look where the ball was and the angle of his foot, he was trying to kick the player. He was not trying to win that ball. So with Van Dijk, at least he was going for the ball and was late. This was very much a player trying to hurt Martinelli. When you watch it back, I think the referee, Anthony Taylor, I believe it was, 110% spots on with that decision. And the only person that Spurs fans should be angry with is Emerson Royale, because at 2-1, it could have gone anyway. You've got a little bit of a bozo so far this season in Gabriel at the back. He's made some mistakes. That could have happened again. Anything could have happened. You were still in the match. But the fact that the guy that's meant to, one of your players that's, I saw people, Spurs fans tweeting this morning, you should have bought stock in Emerson Royale early. He's thriving now. Listen, that's who Spurs fans should be angling their anger at today. Because for me, it's stone wall red.
This is nonsense. Spurs fans, remember on deadline day when you guys ended up with Emerson and we ended up with Tomiyasu, you guys were really trying to make it seem like Emerson was good. We all know that he's a terrible signing. Just admit it. And then you also have to look at Conte and say, what does Jed Spence have to do to get on this pitch? Because Emerson Royale is bad. He just is not a good player. So for me, Just be effing for real. Emerson is terrible. He got caught out and it was a red. It just is. You should look at Conte and say, why do you continue to play Bozo if he's just going to continue to do these things?
No, listen, I couldn't agree more. And again, Spurs fans, I think I'm being biased. But if that was the other way around and Granit Xhaka had done that to Son, you'd be screaming for a red card and you'd be absolutely spot on in asking for it. No doubt about it whatsoever. Right place, right time. Says Conte, elite coach with his TFL park the bus tactics, and they wanted Jose out because he played the same way. 13 leagues, you've only won 2, is what he said there. Remember, that's, by the way, that's only one win now in 20, it'll be 30 years now. One win in 30 years at Arsenal's home, either Emirates or Highbury, which is crazy. We're going to come back to some more of your super chats later, but I'm asking this question too. Let's get this trending. Where is Patrick? Is he under the table? I'm going to go check. He's under the table. I'm going to go have a look around the studio and see if he's around. I don't know where he is, people. We look. Patrick, Patrick, hello? Patrick? Are you around, Patrick? Patrick, where are you? Patrick.
He's not coming.
Patrick, are you there?
But the thing about Patrick, though, is he didn't even have chess yesterday. This is how I think it's just ingrained in Spurs. Like a lot of Spurs fans, I think, came to the reality closer the game came that you don't win at the Emirates. You don't beat us at the Emirates. No matter how good you were playing, you weren't going to beat us there. He didn't even predict a win. As good as he thinks that Spurs are better than us, he did not predict a win. That just shows just there. Like, I think it's just there in them. It's Spursy.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Xhaka has been amazing this season. I have personally shouted for us to sell him, backtracking hard right now. Listen, I don't think asking for him to be sold is the problem. It's the abusive way people treated Xhaka that needs to be looked at.
If you wanted him gone, you weren't wrong.
Yeah, like he was playing poorly.
You weren't wrong.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm a gunner through and through, but Son needs to leave Spurs ASAP. The bloke who's wasting his energy and talent with that dead weight team. Love your neutrality. Is that what it says there? Don't underestimate Arsenal. I said it all along. I just can't do it. I just don't lie. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. It's cute that Spurs think they are rivals, is what Sammy has got to say here. I'm going to come back to some more of your comments a little bit later in the show, but we've got to go to calls now, people. So I'm going to make sure I've got it set up right so the calls look good on the screen. They're all in the right settings and stuff like that. Bear with me 1 second because I actually don't know. I should have set this up before, and I don't know which ones are meant to be the calls, which ones are not. I can't see. Hang on.
Stay back there, Spurs fans. Don't leave.
Yeah.
We'll come to you guys first.
We will be. No, we're going to come to. We're going to go to first on here. First of all, I'm going to go to Egal.
Egal.
We're going to get Egal on because Egal's buzzing to go. Egal, welcome back to the show, mate. What are you saying, bro?
Statement win for these people who keep saying all this random stuff. This is a statement to every single one of you guys who keep saying, oh, Tottenham this, Tottenham that. Also, I told you guys about Thomas Partey. You had the audacity, Patrick, to say to Jez talk about Thomas Partey. Come on, guys. Opening goal, Thomas Partey puts it away. And you know what? He shows people the difference between him being in the team and not being in the team with the control that we have in this game. Now, let me talk about Tottenham for a second. You guys have terrible tactics. I don't know what Conte was thinking about coming to the Emirates trying to play the way that he was playing. You only scored because of a friggin' penalty. Death, taxes, and a penalty in the North London derby for Kane. It's just facts at this point. And finally, if you guys want to come at me correct, because our team is playing well. You have our midfield performing at a level that you haven't seen in a long time. Granit Xhaka performing out of his skin this season, arguably in the team of the season in the Premier League so far. No one can debate that. I think people have to, for once, stop putting the Arsenal agenda on in the glasses of the past and look at what you're seeing on the pitch right now. In the new position he's playing out of his skin. And also, where are these Tottenham fans? Come outside, all of you guys. After a North London derby at home, you guys had the audacity to chat all this shit. I got names. Jerome, come outside. Dan, come outside. Henry Wright, come outside. George, come outside. Patrick, come outside. All of you guys, where are you? I want to see your faces on this stream before the game, or never ever chat shit to me again on a stream after a loss. Dead it. I'm done, bro. I
I
got
love
nothing.
how you had them written. You do have a list next
Yes.
to you, Egal.
He
Yeah,
wrote them
you
down!
had them
He
written
wrote them
down.
down!
Receipts.
He wrote them down!
Receipts.
Love it! Love it!
Also, Tom Little, Liverpool fan, come outside too, because
Yeah, he was talking
Thomas
shit.
Partey. What is all that about? Like, you guys need to put some respect on my team, put some respect on our performances, put some respect on everything going on, because the disrespect towards Arsenal over the last couple of years, it's not the same old Arsenal. This is not the same team that used to buckle under pressure, the same team that, and also the audacity to think Tottenham are going to do something at our ground. They're never going to do anything at our ground. I predicted 3-1. I think Terry predicted 3-1. I think Jess also predicted a win. I think everybody that predicted a win probably said, you know what? If we score early, we're going to win this game. And Tottenham, you guys play into our hands. Everyone keeps talking about this high line. Yes, we play a high line. But also, Tottenham don't start well. They don't start well, but no one spoke about that. People keep talking about who we played this season. Jess, guess what? We still haven't played any big teams this season. We still haven't beaten any big teams this season. You want to know why? Because no one considers Tottenham a big team. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. We're supposed to beat Tottenham at home. Beating Tottenham at home is the equivalent of being Crystal Palace at home. You're expected to do it as an Arsenal fan. And if you don't do it, you're upset. That is the reality. So get it through your thick skulls. If we come to, when we come to your ground, it'll be different energy. Because at the end of the day, I'll be real. But when you come to our ground, you have the audacity to think you're going to win and get 3 points. You will never come to our ground and be confident that you're going to leave with 3 points. That is just a cast iron fact. History repeats it constantly. And you know what? You have to respect the history, because one thing we've learned, there is heritage in certain things, there is history in certain things, and there is a bottle gene. And these Tottenham teams, they don't have it. They don't have the mentality when they come to Emirates. They don't have that cheek. They don't have that extra gear. And Antonio Conte, you're a fraud also, because when you come to Emirates, you also get handed to. So keep it moving.
Egal. I think that's the perfect way to end what you had to say there, my friend. I love the passion. I love the energy. At least you always speak your mind. Too many fans nowadays trying to act like politicians. So well done, you, my friend. And I'm sure we'll chat. I'll say stay near. Maybe you're going to get called out. But we'll speak to you again soon. Top man. Thank you very much. Egal. Like, he's very, very passionate there, isn't he? Very passionate.
Very passionate. But I feel like he didn't really say anything wrong there. Like, a lot of Arsenal fans predicted wins because that's what we do. Like, we beat Spurs at home. And so, like, it just is what it is. The one thing I will say about this whole Arsenal haven't played anybody, Spurs really have only played Chelsea. You know, they haven't played good teams either. And they didn't beat Chelsea, and they were lucky to get a draw. So the idea that they've been playing amazing against all the teams that they've been playing, and they've been playing a higher caliber of team. They also drew to West Ham. So it's equal. We didn't beat Manchester United away from home. We were expected to, for some reason, even though we don't. You guys were supposed to come to the Emirates and bop us, and you didn't. So there you go.
This is the thing. The agenda, everyone thinks it's an agenda to prop up Arsenal, but the agenda's been the other way. Arsenal haven't played anybody, but yet nobody's leveling that at Spurs. No one's leveling that at Man City. But yet with Arsenal, we can't judge a single thing Arsenal have done until they've basically played Man City at the Emirates, which is an absolute nonsense unless you're going to apply that same logic to each and every other single team. And listen, I like banter with the next person, but the banter towards Arsenal has been milked. It is dry, it is dead, and it is no longer funny. So move on from it, people. We're going to take a call now. We've got so many people to get to. We're going to go to Alan. Alan is a Spurs fan. What are you saying, mate?
Shit result. Got to start from there. Obviously, Egal never learns. I'll make sure that I've clipped that for later on, because that same will come to the end of the season. It was same old for Arsenal. Anyway, start of the game. Conte doing the same thing, contain and counter-attack. Only this time, like I said, you have a player that can finish like Partey, and you have Xhaka who can hit a ball, and you scored. Then after, some Arsenal fans in here going off on that. You need to get glasses, because that second half, the first half, when we won 1-0 down, we caused you so many problems on the transition. Your defence is all at sea. That's how we won the penalty. And if Son or Richarlison could have passed properly on 3 occasions, we were in. So we caused you all sorts of problems. We get to the end of the half, 1-1, that's fine. There is no excuse for how we came out for that second half. Lloris, first mistake of the season, cost us. That not good enough. Romero, his form's dipped, not good enough. 2-1. At that point, still not worried, because Spurs playing well. like in regards to like our game plan, and then all of a sudden, Emerson Royale, you absolute fucking idiot. You complete and utter fuck. He's in his own half. I say it's about players all the time. You're in your own half. You're going back towards your own goal. Leave him alone. He's by his own touchline. He's going nowhere. And you fucking do that. In real time when I was watching it, I was like, okay, yellow card, that's fine. And then I was like, he got red card because I was doing a watch along. I was surprised at the red. And when I look back at it, at the end of the day, although I was thinking similar to you, Terry, you've seen one similar, not thing. The fact is, Martinelli's kicked the ball away, and Royale's gone nowhere but for his ankle. He's only got himself to blame. Spurs fans who have defended this guy, I said he'd done well against Southampton this season. Why on earth are Spurs fans defending this absolutely awful right wing back? He's absolutely shocking. He needs to get out of this club. I don't want to see him. I don't even want to see Doxy. Give Jed Spence a go. Conte saying, oh, he's too young, this ain't never like that. I don't care. Because there are certain players still at this club that are not good enough, and I want to see better from there. I'd give Spence a go. And then once it's down to 10 men, the game is done and dusted. For me, absolutely awful. I blame Conte. Should have gone to a 3-5-2. Conte's got, I agree with Egal. When he goes away to Arsenal, he, for some reason, decides to do a sharp shop. He's got an awful record there. I don't understand why. He's meant to be an elite manager. So, for me, he's got a whole responsibility as well. But for me, again, he got his hat-trick against Leicester. Against Leicester. Son, absolutely shocking. And my day was bad enough for having a really bad cold already, but it's just got made even worse by them winning and beating us. But until that red card, I was still confident, and that red card just killed the game. Absolutely killed the game. So,
at 2-1, you're always in it with the way you play football. Yeah. So listen, I've got a lot of time for you, mate, because you're actually calling out what went wrong for you on the day rather than blaming the ref or moaning. Yeah. Jed Spence not getting game time. Listen, I know football fans are meant to back their club, and I get it. But I've been seeing people push this narrative that Emerson Royale is turning it round. Emerson Royale is the real deal. And for me, this is Antonio Conte has cost you these points partly today. His reluctancy to play Jed Spence, who is highly talented, because he didn't want him. He's a Tottenham player, not my player. This is what if it wasn't Antonio Conte and Jose did this, or Nuno did this, the majority of your fan base would be outraged. And I think you need to have the same energy, because it's helped cost you 3. I think Arsenal are going to win anyway, but it's cost you. Now, hopefully he gets the opportunity now. There's 3 games he's going to be missing. There's lots of games this month. If Jed Spence ain't given opportunities this month, I think some big questions need to be asked. Alan, really appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Lots to get through. We'll speak again soon, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Jed Spence not playing is still weird, isn't it? It's very weird.
It is weird, but we knew he wasn't going to play the moment that Conte said it was a club signing and not his signing, so I'm not surprised he hasn't played. It's just Emerson Royale is so bad. He's so bad that you have to give somebody else a chance. And like you said, this is the chance, but I would put money on it that Jed Spence still doesn't get an opportunity, and it'll be Doherty. Doherty.
Or you can pronounce it Doherty or Doherty.
I don't even think I can say that.
The Irish, I've heard Irish people say it 2 different ways, and it's an Irish name. So I don't
he'll
say
play. He will play.
He will play. It's very very weird to me. It's worth a super chat here says Terry slurping up that documentary. Red card saved you. Arsenal will not come top 4. We have you clipped and everything. You AFC clowns, and we'll own you soon. Come. Listen, my bro, if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong and you click me and you make me go viral, my business grows, I make more money, I buy an even better car. So clip me up, my friend. I want to be clipped. No one ever clips me up. I don't get to go viral like other content creators because everyone leaves me alone. Listen, you know what I mean? I'll be rolling up in my second i8. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's my new car, by the way. Thank you, everyone that's made that possible. But
Spurs fans,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
You do realize that you conceded the majority of the shots that you conceded in that match before the red card, right? You also remember that if you take your glasses off and actually watch the game, you had 15 decent minutes. And saying, oh, well, if we could have passed better, we would have done something to you. Well, you didn't. So, you did not play that well. We dominated the majority of the match, and the score line was indicative of that. The score line reflected that. You were not in it. It wasn't about the red card. You were already smashed before the red card.
Scotty here says, I'm a Chelsea fan stroke scientist from San Diego. I love the fact you've told us what you do as you're a scientist. I love that. What kind of science? Enjoy your content, Terry. You're consistent and entertaining, not bad. Not bad, little Arsenal fans, is what you said. Scotty, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, my friend. Don't fear Thomas Partey is what Tevlin Thames has got to say. Thames has got to say. Why did I say Thames like I'm a Yank? It's Thames.
Not even
Thank you.
just that. Hoiberg is better than Thomas Partey.
Sorry. I like Hoiberg as well, but Lokonga on Bruno. Lokonga on Bruno, Van Dijk on Onana, both were as bad as tackles. If it's a bad tackle, it's a bad tackle. Intent doesn't matter. Premier League refs, do you know what's interesting, Bison? I agree with you on that. There is an inconsistency, but I'm not inconsistent. I said both of them were reds. So I then today can't say, well, no, they're not a red because those ones weren't. That's where you maintain consistency as a fan base. We've got more super chats to come back to. I know you've hit the 1,000 like mark, so those memberships are on their way to you. But first on the show, she's back. She's back by popular demand. We weren't meant to have her in here today, but I didn't have enough tech team to have more than one camera operating. Colleen is here with us now. What you saying? What you saying?
Oh my god, I've been calling Patrick, everyone. He's declining my calls. He's like, I'm off to the gym. He's being a little PUSSY. Oh, what a great day it is for us. What a great day it is for us. Where do we begin? Where do we start?
Where do we start?
I mean, I think it was fantastic, wasn't it? I think the game played out how we all knew it was going to play out in terms of playing styles. I think as an Arsenal fan, I think we've already come to terms that we're always going to concede a penalty to Tottenham.
100%.
I just knew it was going to happen. Didn't know when it was going to happen or how it was going to happen, but it did happen. And to be honest with you, I think it worked in our, of course, this is going to sound ridiculous, but let me land, is that it was a good thing for an Arsenal perspective that the Emerson red card did happen, because I'm not too sure whether we would have left there with a win. I think it would have been very close. I think it could have been 2-2, 3-2, just because, not that we didn't deserve to win, or we didn't play beautiful attacking football. It was just the way we got a little bit shaky towards the end of the first half. And then it seemed like the second half was going to be a carbon copy, an early goal. And then it was a little bit, are we going to get caught out on the break? For me, the red card, I was with you, Tel. I didn't think it was a red when I first saw it. The more I've seen it, the more I'm starting to get more convinced. But then if I have to see it that many times, should it really be a red? I think the issue is what you guys already touched upon, is that it's that kind of inconsistency, like that last comment said. But I can see why it's a red if you put the whole context into play, the angle of his foot, the fact Martinez running towards his own goal, the fact he's behind him, nowhere near the ball, like he's not even looking at the ball. But yeah, it is what it is. And, you know, it could have easily happened the other way with the Gabriel penalty. If his tackle was worse or anything like that, the shoe could have been on the other foot. So there's still so much more where we can improve. But it's a North London derby. It's very hard to be hypercritical when your teams come out on top, to be honest with you.
I've got a question for you. You've obviously had a lot of stick because you've been predicting Arsenal to be in the title race the whole time.
Yeah.
You're now on 21 points. Is it 21 points, 22 or 22 points? What you want points-wise? I don't even know. I know you're top of the league. 21
points, I think.
I want to say 21, but I could be slightly wrong, you know. Yeah, 21 points you're on. Out of a possible 24. How much do you believe, like, are you really believing now that you're going to be in this title race with Manchester City?
I mean, let's see. I think October's the month. I don't see why we can't challenge them or push them as far as possible. Because it's essentially Man City and the best of the rest. That's not to say that Liverpool might not come back, but you've got Chelsea with a new manager coming in. Liverpool have had a bit of a shaky start. Tottenham, we've just beaten them, and then there's Arsenal. So why not? Why can't we push them as far as we go as the season goes on? Especially as it's a bit of a unique season with the World Cup in the middle. A very a very packed up October. I mean, why not? But I do think we're a player or two short to really challenge. But at this point, we're top of the table. We've had every single game we played, even the United game, we've played really well. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. I just don't think, I'm not going to write us off, but I'm also not going to be disappointed if we don't win the league, because that's a bit of an outrageous kind of statement.
I agree. I think it's one of those things where, like, you weren't expected by some to make the top four. You weren't expected to be in a title race. So if you don't win the league, there's zero reason to get on at Arsenal. But I just look at you and think, it's 7 wins from 8. If someone can show me the last time one of the big teams, not a small team that starts well, a big team starts with this many wins convincingly. You're not playing pragmatic, horrible football, but convincing, progressive, entertaining football where you're very rarely looking vulnerable in games. I've never seen a big team do this and not go on to challenge or not go on to be there or thereabouts. So I'm just going with, just like you would never predict Spurs to win at the Emirates. You've got to go with history on this.
I agree. And until we're proven otherwise, until we go on like a losing streak or something like that, I don't see why not. And we lost against United and it was nice to see us bounce back. It was a great game today. I think if you're a neutral, you must have loved it. But listen, I've already got I've been saying my spots are saved.
Absolutely. Now listen, Cole, I'm gonna jump out because Patrick is finally arrived backstage. He's here. Patrick's here, people. We found him. Colleen, we'll chat to you again soon. Speak to you in a bit. Patrick's here, people, and then we're coming back to your super chats. Oi, Pat. Hey.
Yo, listen, what do you mean finally? You didn't send me the link. Colleen actually sent me the link.
I put it in the top 6 group chat like 3 hours ago.
Did you? Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. I was watching the game.
I went looking around the studio. I went downstairs. I was checking everywhere for you, mate.
I hate the way you're so happy, Terry. You're a Man United fan. Why are you enjoying this so much?
Because I've had so much abuse by saying I think they're going to do well. You know.
Oh man, you know what? This game was in the balance. 1-1. Hugo Lloris made a bad mistake. It was 2-1. We were still in the game. Then obviously Anthony Taylor did what Anthony Taylor does, and he gave a disgusting, contentious red card. That is not a red card. And after that, it was game over.
Are you serious? Are you really going to let him do this?
I'm serious.
Over to you. It's not a red card.
Like that.
Yesterday.
And you know what it is, Jess? Yeah, yesterday you were saying, Jess, I hope that it's not, the referees don't ruin this game and it's not decided by this and that.
You said.
And then Anthony Taylor goes and does that.
Patrick.
2-1, the game's in the balance. Yeah, you guys were literally in the ascendant. No, not even in the ascendancy. You had the advantage.
I'm sorry. I like you, but you're lying.
I like you as well, Jess, but we've got to keep it real. There's two. Let me land, Jess, and then you can. Jess, let me land. Let me just make my point.
You need to land because it needs to start making sense.
It does make sense. Trust me. Let me land. In the first half, Son was through on the counter attack. Odegaard was literally like this, pulling his shirt for like 3 seconds. We obviously continued with the counter attack. Nothing came of it. Why doesn't Anthony Taylor take that back? That's a yellow card all day long. By every letter of the law, that's a yellow card. That's one thing. Second half, Emerson Royale fouling him. It was a bad foul. That's a yellow card at best. How is that a red card? That's mental. So obviously after that, game's done. Game's done. 3-1. Yeah, it is what it is. But for you guys to then, you know what? I need to rein it in. I'm a bit emotional. All I'm gonna say is
okay.
All I'm gonna say is that.
No, you said you've landed. You've landed. Okay.
No. I've not landed. I've not landed. I'm just gonna say every season you lot beat us at the Emirates, and we end up finishing above you. So obviously it hurts right now. I get it. I'm upset.
Okay.
But at the end of the season, we're gonna see what's what, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. It is what it is.
Okay, whatever. So I never said that I didn't want it to end up being like something from a referee. You said that. And you also said that because I don't want Arsenal fans making any excuses about why they don't win the game. You are now sitting here today with your hoodie on saying that we didn't deserve to win or we got something lucky because of the red card.
You deserve to win. You deserve to win, but I didn't want to see it like that. You deserve to win.
In this game, in the balance nonsense, you gave up 19 shots and you gave up 15 of those before the red card. You had 10 minutes where you were decent on the counter, but your players couldn't pass a ball to save. I don't
want to hear that because we've been resilient in every game this season. And the thing is,
resilient.
If we're 11 versus 11, we're still in that game, and
you're still in it, but you're not winning.
No. Listen,
you weren't winning it.
You don't know that. You don't know that. But with
I
10
do
versus
know.
11,
I watched the game with my own 2 eyes. You weren't really. You guys had. This is your thing. You're always in it because of the counterattack, but we were not Leicester today and we were not Chelsea. We
You gave
finished
us
our
chances.
chances.
You gave us chances at 11 versus 11. So you can't say that. And obviously, we were
You
growing
had
stronger
half
into the game.
chances
At the
at
end of the
best in
first half,
certain-
we were
you
the
had
better
half
team. And then
chances.
you came out second half. You were the better team. I get it. But there's
So
always
you think
there's
when
always
you think
moments in
when
the
your
game. You weren't
players,
gonna. Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
I'll
Go on.
let you think when your players are running towards our goal at speed, no matter if they get a shot or not, whether it's on target or not, that's a chance. It's not.
We
It's
had
not
chances.
a chance.
We had chances. Like even the Richarlison, was it red card? Sorry, red card. When Richarlison was brought down by Gabriel in the box, that was off the back of us attacking you guys. Every time we attacked you guys, you looked like you was in trouble. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, when
What do you think?
Patrick, I've got a question for you. Are you willing to accept that this Arsenal team are genuinely top class?
but I've always said they were good, Terry. You can't get me for that because even yesterday I was saying that.
I'm not trying to get you.
Yeah.
I just feel like because like for me, it's a case of look. I'm like you as a Man United fan. I want it to fall apart. I don't want Arsenal to be good. The only reason why I'm kind of doing a little bit of what I'm doing by backing them a little bit is all I've said in the past few weeks. I think Arsenal are going to be really scary, and I've been laughed at like it's a pathetic opinion, and I just feel like it's getting not by you. You haven't done this per se, to be fair. But there's so many people that are like, nah, no one can say Arsenal are good. No top team has ever won their opening 7 out of 8 games and not gone on to be in a title race. Someone just sent me a stat, and I've got to verify, in 47 years of football. So to write Arsenal off now is literally ignoring how football works, bruv. And I think that's why I'm a bit frustrated.
I don't know if I've written them off. I don't see them as title contenders. I think Man City will walk the league and, the second place team will be at least 10, 15 points behind. I don't know if that makes you a title contender if you're second. I don't know if Arsenal finish in second. I've always said they're going to finish in the top 4. I stand by that. They are a good team. No one can debunk me for what I've been saying because I've been saying it before the season, before a ball was even kicked off. I had Arsenal and Tottenham in the top 4. So no one can get at me. Even though I'm a Spurs fan, I do like to think that I'm quite balanced with my opinions. Obviously, there's certain things like all the Partey stuff. It's you can't write it, innit? There's where I've been getting that Partey and he goes and scores that. So I got to hold my hands up. Yeah. I got to hold my hands up. But over the course of a season, let's see what's what, innit? Right now, of course, Arsenal fans are on cloud nine. And credit to them. You got to give them their dues. They're doing good.
I hear that, bro. And listen, bro, I appreciate you turning up, mate, because it is hard when you lost. Like, and I have to do it. I have to do it. It's my job, and my team's lost a lot in the last 5-6 years. Listen, Patty, we'll talk to you again soon, mate. Take care, bro.
Jess, well done. Well done. Enjoy it.
Top man. Just to let you all know, the TFT clothing range is now out. Links in the description below, or you can scan that QR code. Plus, Give Me Sports Arsenal range is out, including this. I mean, I'm not going to wear it. Everyone thinks I'm a gooner. I'm not. The Gabriel Jesus t-shirt, you can see there. Plus, there is also, we had a Son t-shirt in here if they were going to win. So we're going to have a Son t-shirts, Haaland t-shirts, and more. Click on the links in the description below or scan that QR code. I need to go to some super chats because these people keep my channel going, and I've got to respect them here. We are all over Bottleham. Sorry, I'm trying to read that right. From the start to finish, although that spending was not a red card, to be honest. Okay, that's sending, not spending. Sorry, my dyslexia is awful. Spurs only relies on the counter attack. I think you're pretty much right there. That's all they really had. And once that opportunity to counter went, it was done. Comment here from Harold says, 8 months SNL fan, and yet you skip most of my super chats. Bro, I know you're like 100% I read a lot of your super chats out. If I do miss them, I don't know how, because I don't miss very many, and I apologize if that's how you feel. I'll do better next time, I promise. We have to focus on the next game, Europa, but if we beat Liverpool, it's looking if I speak. Well, Liverpool are losing right now to Brighton. It will probably turn around. So, like right now, if you're Arsenal, you must be licking your lips at the prospect of playing
I told you
Liverpool.
that was step 1 was beating Spurs.
Yeah.
Step 2 is beating Liverpool. The whole Arsenal can't beat big teams thing. It's not really about Man United, and Man United is a big club, but it's not about them. It's about Liverpool and Manchester City. Those are the teams that we need to get points from. So yeah, I think we need to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so rude.
That is terrible. I know. I may be it may be my heart talking, but if we beat Liverpool, I will genuinely believe is what Lost Night 97's got to say. Hi, Colleen. She's gone now, actually, but says, "Shame you shut me down due to my good looks. Happy for you though. Congrats on the win." Lost Night also super chat another chat saying, "Massive fan, respect to you. One question really to when will people start giving Arteta respect he deserves?" I think it depends on and Saliba, Van Dijk 2.0. Let's slow down with Van Dijk was the best defender in the world for a while. Let's slow down on that, but Saliba looks amazing. I would say Arteta, it depends what respect you want him to get. He's never going to get the respect of a Klopp or a Pep until he starts winning league titles and Champions Leagues. That's impossible and shouldn't happen. But people have got to realize that he's not Lampard, he's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as people predicted him to be. He's of another level. Has he reached the levels of the Tuchels, the Klopps, the Contes in terms of achievements? No. But is he on the road to doing that? Is there the potential for him to become that good? If you say no, I think you're lying to yourself. So I think it's getting the respect levels right, in my opinion. 5 defensive subs within 25 minutes. Conte masterclass is what Anthony says here. Caused all sorts of problems. I'm not sure that's referral to now.
I'm with you, David. Alan and Hoodie both came on here talking about they cause us all sorts of problems.
Hoodie, no sympathy with Son and Kane. If they were big players, they should have left Spurs like Modric and Bale. Conte on his way to Juve, Spurs in the mud. It's a little bit premature, but yeah. I do get where you're coming from with, especially so Harry Kane. Harry Kane, get out, please get. That film Get Out. Like they should make a poster with Harry Kane on that screaming. They really should. Conte has the same amount of away wins in big games as Arteta, including his Chelsea reign. That's interesting fact. The pundits sound so disappointed that we're winning convincingly. Kane and Dyer at the end of complaining to the ref was the tonic I live for. Well done to you. This super chat is for Egal. He said everything I needed to say. I'm living
vicariously through Egal's monologue.
There we go. I couldn't read that word. Vicariously. There we go. Like Egal deserves that because Egal does sometimes get a lot of unnecessary stick for just loving his football team. He gets a lot of unnecessary stick sometimes as well. People can be a little bit rude. Conte ball overrated. Reverted to this formation after Arsenal spanked Chelsea playing a 4-3-3 years ago. Hadn't had the balls to play anything else since, is what's been said there. We've got lots more calls. We're going to try and get to as many of these calls as we can. Next on the show, we've got another Spurs. We're going to go to Brandon, then we're going to get to George on. Dan's going to come on as well. We've got Jason, we've got Sol. We're going to try and get everybody on as best we can. Brandon's here. What are you saying, bro?
Ooh, Terry, the referees. Ooh. Come on, Spurs fans, do yourself a favour. Just admit it was just standard procedure today. You never ever get anything when you come to the Emirates. You should know that by now. And we're a different proposition this season. And I've been saying it, and I'll keep saying it. And I tweeted it out yesterday as well. I said about Granit Xhaka being very important in this game. I felt, Spurs' attack could potentially cause us problems, and I didn't want Xhaka to revert back to being that liability again when he's defending his own goal. But he was excellent yet again today, and he deserves all the props that he's getting at the moment. Saliba had Harry Kane in his pocket. By the way, I know you was looking for. I know you was looking for that Spurs fan, Patrick. Maybe you should have a look for Harry Kane, mate, because apart from the penalty. Where was he? Where was he today? I didn't see him. Did you see him, Jess?
No, I didn't.
I never see no Harry Kane. I didn't even see Son. So, with regards to...
But they were causing us all sorts of trouble, remember?
Oh, apparently so. I mean, let's not take it away from them. In the transition, on the counter-attack, they look very dangerous. But let's break that down into chances now. Yeah. How many clear-cut chances did they actually have today? None.
I said,
do you know what I mean?
Well, they had the offside. The chance from Richarlison that was then looked like it was going to be given offside. So they had that. But there was very little else, and they were conceding opportunities. And you guys looked dangerous. And there was one opportunity where Jesus was played in, and he went to take a touch instead of shooting. Spurs were conceding so many of them opportunities, as I've seen in other games, and. It was what it was. You could tell what Spurs were trying to do. And this is not a dig at them. They were trying to be resolute, hard to break down, and then try and nick it. And I think Patrick's right in what he said around if it stays 2-1,
They're still in
11-11, they were still in it because they would have been happy for a 2-2 draw. They would have walked away and they'd have had a Mardi Gras. And I think for me, that's the bit for me. They come and play for it. As soon as you got that third goal, the red card happened, it was done because they don't have the facilities, big man, to break down a team like Arsenal at the Emirates. They just don't play a ton of football. And I think for me, that's just what Spurs fans have got to be mindful of this year. When they're up the big boys, if they go down, it's going to be very hard for them. And even against Chelsea, they got back into that game. And every Spurs fan that came on said it, I can't believe we've got a point in this match. How did we do it? So there's things to work on for Tottenham, which is why when everyone speaks about them being title contenders, I just can't have it. I'm having them as top 4, definitely a top 4 team. But outside of that, it's a no for me. Brandon,
I don't think Tottenham were that poor. I just think that we made them poor today. I think we was that good today again. I've got to credit Mikel Arteta as well. Terry, you're going to be shocked when I say this, but if we come out of this October fixtures run with, let's just say, 7 wins, because it's 9 games in this month.
I just want to say very quickly as well, right now as it stands, Liverpool are losing 2-0 to Brighton and Palace are beating Chelsea 1-0. Just want to put that out there right now. That's crazy. Finish what you got to say, mate. We've got to get through a few more calls. I've got to watch those games as well because I've got to go live in an hour for them. I'm loving it. Go on.
If we beat Liverpool and we come out of this October fixture list with 7 wins and maybe a couple of draws, and we come out like unscathed, then maybe I'll be changing my mind on this manager.
Well,
maybe just maybe.
I'll give you credit for coming out and saying that. A lot of gooners that were coming on there slagging him off last year never reply to my DMs anymore. They're off. Brand, top man for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it, and we'll chat again soon. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. I'm going to try and get as many people on as I can. We might have to be quite quick to get through everybody. Dan's with us now. What are you saying, Dan?
My audio on. Hello?
Yeah, hello, mate. What you
can you hear me?
Yes, my friend. What do you want to say?
Yeah. I was just finding a clip. Let me put it. I don't know if I can put it back on, but yeah, it's really, really funny to hear Arsenal fans crying about the referee here. Look at this.
Let's go back a minute. Step back a minute. When you say blaming the referee, what did the referee do wrong tonight? How did the referee ruin the game, in your opinion?
So crying about the referee, and Egal was doing that, and many other Arsenal fans were doing that. And I'm going to say that was not a red card, but I'm not going to blame the full performance on that. I'm going to be completely honest here. Emerson Royale, the fact that guy has become a professional footballer, beyond me. Honestly, beyond me. I don't know how that's happened. But I just think that with the Tottenham fans wanting to play with 3 in the middle, I don't think that was going to happen ever. Antonio Conte is not going to go into a North London derby and just change it up right before it. It did not make any sense. I'm disappointed, man. I'm depressed. I made a hole in my wall. Now I got to fix that. I got to deal with my parents. I made a hole. Literally, today's the worst day of my life. Honestly, it's Tottenham, man.
No, listen. I feel your pain, mate. I feel your pain. It's horrible. But I think people have just got to put a little bit of respect on Arsenal. It's always a hard place for you to go, and you made it even harder with some of the decisions that were made today. But are you still confident of a top 4 finish?
No, 100%. No, listen. This is only one game. Let's not act like this is going to make up our whole season here. This is one game, and I don't even think it's going to have that much an effect. Actually, if anything, Conte has shown that when we lose a big game, he motivates the players to come back in the next one and perform even better. So that could even be a boost. We never win at the Emirates. I've come on because obviously I chatted shit with Egal, and he had me on his list and everything. I've come outside.
You've come outside. Listen, a fair play for coming up, Dan, and the support you give to Terry. So it really means a lot to me. Top man, thank you. Next on the show, Jerome's another Spurs fan, big supporter of the Terrace. What you saying, bro?
Hey, Terry, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Give me your thoughts on that performance and result, mate.
The only good thing about this performance is 3 games. I'm not going to see that clown of Emerson Royale. He's not Brazilian. I don't know what the hell that guy is. He's been spun the whole time with Martinelli. Jesus. It's like if Conte doesn't give Jet Spence a chance, I don't know what else we can do, because we can't have Doherty playing. we need Jet Spence to be playing there. And I don't know what he needs to do to be playing, because this is absolutely ridiculous. And even though that's not a red card, that guy can't play for us anymore. He needs to go. He is just ridiculously bad. He's horrible. But performance-wise, it was terrible. And even I keep telling you, we need to do better, a lot more better than this. Even against Leicester, it's like even if we win 6-2, I was not convincing at all. But here, we just got battered, like badly, against Arsenal. That's just embarrassing. And Conte is a freaking coward. You telling me 20 minutes to go and you put your whole freaking defense. It's like what? Because we got a Champions League game to go and play? Screw that. That's the North London Derby. You try everything. You keep everything. Like, Jesus. You just said, okay, that's it. Game done. Don't worry. Leave it. Freaking hell, man. It's just embarrassing. That's so bad.
I completely understand why he did what he did, but I also understand how frustrating and embarrassing that will look, because essentially he's just you've thrown the towel in. Like, you might as well lose 4-1 trying to get back into the game than lose 3-1 for me.
Yeah, I didn't care. Even if we lose 6-1, 7-1, I didn't care. It was like, try. Give your best.
No,
try everything you can.
I totally get where you're coming from. Jerome, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say, bro, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Top man. Thank you. We've got Jason on, who's an Arsenal fan. What are you saying, Jason?
It's the history of the Tottenham. Oh my God, what a performance from the lads. I can't lie. What a performance. And Terry, I'm going to say this to you right now. I am absolutely sorry. I thought you were playing mind games with us all the way through. I thought you were taking a piss or anything like that, but I'm very sorry. I put my hands up. I put my hands up out here. But I just want to say, compared to the last time we played Spurs and now, I feel like we improved so much. Like the way we pressing from the start, the way we starting off games was absolutely. I can't say. I have no words to say. And I want to big up Granit Xhaka as well. What a performance from him. In the summer, I wanted him to be sold, rightfully so. But Mikel Arteta, props up to him. I can't lie, I slagged him off. But that position change for Granit Xhaka basically changed our whole fortunes as well. And people who are laughing at Thomas Partey, man, nah, he's like one of the main guys in that team as well. Like he makes our team click as well. And you know what? Every time I'm going to a game like this season, I'm being confident. And long may it continue as well. Honestly, long may it continue.
Mate, listen, appreciate you coming on, Jason, having your say. And listen, I appreciate the words, but it's all good, my friend. You look after yourself. Speak to you again soon. George is with us now. Big Spurs fan. What you saying, bro?
Yes, Terry, man. I'm good. We're surviving after that loss. Do you know what? I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I wasn't surprised because the performance, as I said, going into the game, I knew Arsenal was going to dominate. I knew they were going to have a lot of the ball, and I knew they were going to have a lot of shots on goal. But for me, we were far too passive. We looked like a team that hadn't played in a long time, and it showed. Many of the players looked tired. They looked deflated. Son, another bad performance, man. I done so much all week to get him into these combined 11s over Martinelli, and Martinelli shat all over him. Like, let's be honest, I'll be so real. He had a great game. He tore Emerson up down that right side, and then all these Tottenham fans trying to make excuses saying that's not a red card. That's a blatant red card. You can't go in there reckless like that with your studs up into the ankle. For me, I played football, and if you do that, that's a red card. You can't question the referee on that. And especially in a big game like this, I mean, it's a big call to make, and he had to go out there and do it.
When you look at it as well, I know it's a freeze frame, but you look. He's not looking at the ball, Emerson. He's looking.
That's what I mean.
He's literally looking at the man. You can see it 100%.
No, he looked nowhere. He didn't even go anywhere near the ball. That's the funniest thing. The ball was so far away from him on the right side. It was just a poor challenge all round, and it did change the game. As soon as that happened, you could see it. We was all over the place. Conte didn't really know what to do, and I was disappointed that he made all those changes. I don't know what he was doing. I don't care about saving grace. I don't care about all of that. Like one of the other Tottenham fans said, we need to go out there and try and win. We need to go out there, bring these attacking players on to try and win. We're going out there bringing 5 or 4 defenders on, trying to save our. It made no sense to me. I was disappointed with it. Conte needs to change that part of him, because all these changes, and even mid-game made the changes a bit too late. I just think it wasn't good enough today. All round bad. Arsenal props up. They played better than us. They deserved the win at the Emirates. They beat us there a couple times now, or many times now. We ain't going there getting points. And I know I said a lot about it, but hey, we all know what happens when you come to the lane. We're gonna get it back in blood. And yeah, all this talk about title challenge though, Terry, I think it needs to slow down. I feel like this season is a very different season from other because we have a 2-part season. I feel like the season's going to go that way. So one team can be good for one half, and then the second half's going to be a completely different picture. So we need to slow down with the title talk.
I think that's fair. As I say, I'm going to go and do the research on it later and just look at the big clubs that start this well. How many have actually like fallen away? I just don't remember it ever happening. So I'm just kind of basing my opinion on things that happen, if that makes sense, rather than kind of. And look, I get the point that they might fall away, Arsenal, and I'm sure we'll all celebrate if they do. Like, I'm not going to be happy if Arsenal win the. Well, I will and I won't. I don't want City doing a three-peat. So anyone winning the league, City is good for me. But look, we'll see what happens. Listen, fair play for coming on, mate, and having your say. I appreciate it, bro. And I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thanks for coming.
I'll never hide. Don't worry about that. Just
take care, bro. We'll speak again soon. Thank you. Listen, people, we are back live after the Liverpool and Chelsea games this afternoon to delve into more of this. We will obviously speak more of this Arsenal Spurs fallout on the Top 6 show on Monday at 6 p.m. live on the Football Terrace. Make sure that you check out the Football Terrace store. The QR code's on the screen and links are in the description below. Go and buy some of our merchandise and keep supporting the channel as best you can. We'll put out some of those memberships for you as well. Thank you very much for hitting the like and the share buttons. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon indeed. Sorry, I didn't hit all the right buttons. And we'll catch you again soon. Peace.